that is the products that we make, we want to make sure that we build the best quality products for our customers who then make the best quality products for you to use, whether it's your iPhone, your computer, going onto the website, using AI to buy a product. And so that's really what we mean by that. But we can use the arrow, just go over that. And so Micron was founded in 1978, October 5th. We just hit 45 years old. We are headquarters out in Boise, Idaho. We made about $30 billion in 2022. We have about 54,000 patents now. We're the fourth largest semiconductor company in the world. We're the second largest memory company in the world. We have about 44,000 employees throughout the United States. And we also are in 17 different countries with 11 sites being manufacturing sites. So we are in Japan, Singapore, Italy, and here in the United States. And so just to look, these are all the different areas that our products go into. We are in AI, data centers, mobile, personal, industrial. And the next one will show you, go ahead, the products we make that go into these areas. So the first one is the ultra bandwidth memory, which is HBM3 Gen 2, holds about 1.2 terabytes of memory. That is used for supercomputing or AI generated systems, so like ChatGPT, we use that a lot in there. The graphics card chip that we make goes with NVIDIA to make your graphics cards. And then DDR5 is what we use for computers. That's the memory sticks. And then this one right here is LPDDR5. That is the newest chip, memory chip that goes into your iPhone 15. So if you're using an iPhone, our memory is in that. We have also the auto industrial grade solutions chip, which is our automotive chip for Tesla, for Ford, GM, Audi. And then the last one is solid state drives that we use for your laptops. Go ahead. So last year, Micron announced that we would be investing $150 billion worldwide. All investments to our manufacturing R&D sites. And here in the U.S., we've taken $115 billion of that to invest in Boise and Manassas. So in Boise, we are building a 600,000 square foot manufacturing site. Right now, it is just all R&D, and we have a 200,000 square foot R&D site right now. And so this is going to be almost 3 times the size of that. So you can roughly think of 10 football fields is how big this fab will be. It'll house 17,000 jobs, with 2,000 of those being Micron employees, whether they're technicians or engineers. And then in Clay, New York, the $100 billion that we are investing there over the next 2 decades, that's going to have about 40,000 employees, with 9,000 being Micron employees. And this is 4 times the size of the one we're building in Boise. So it's the mega fab. It's probably the biggest fab you'll ever see in the U.S. that's ever been here. This has roughly about 40 football fields is how big it'll be. So pretty great. And so we know that we don't have the supply right now for technicians. We need to build that because the demand is going to be there in the next 10 to 15, 20 years. And if we don't do anything to help build that supply, that pipeline, then we could be screwed and we could not, meet the demands of the public. And so one of the biggest things that we thought about was internship program. Usually an internship program is usually for students who are attending a 4-year college degree. And we know that there's students in community college that, maybe only do just 2 years and then go straight to the workforce. And so this is a great way to kind of introduce students to get exposure to the semiconductor business and also get them interested in being a technician. And so with the internship, you do have the opportunity to meet with other students from other areas of the region. You'll get to network with them. You'll get to learn from them, learn a skill set. You'll also learn with our leaders. You'll get tech talks with our leaders. So you may have a VP that you talk to, or you may have a tech talk with our CEO. You'll also do professional development with a mentor to help sharpen your skills. We do have something that's called ERG, which is Employee Resource Groups. And the employee resource groups can have a number of different groups. We have something that's called AAIPN, which is American Asian Islander Pacific Network, and then there's BEN, which is Black Engineering Network. There's MHP, which is Micron Hispanic Professionals. There's LGBTQ there. There's Mosaic, which is a picture group that wants to take pictures and share it with each other. So there's lots of different interests that you can go into or help support. Go ahead. So benefits that you'll see at Micron for an internship or as a full-time employee. You'll see that at the Boise site, you'll have 5 different health plans. The high deductible plan, Micron will pay for if you choose that one. The other 4, you do have a small premium that you would pay for, but it's really up to you on what you want to do and how much of a medical coverage you need. But you do have 3 different types of dental plans, 2 different types of vision plans. You do get time off, so you can accrue time off. It's about 5.31 hours every 2 weeks, which is your paycheck. So you can accrue, I believe, in 12 weeks, probably 36 hours. So if you don't use it, we pay you out on your last check. And then for the internship, we do pay for you to go to Boise or Manassas. So we'll cover the cost for your flights or for your drive up there. We'll also give you a $600 stipend every month, so you'll get $1,800 cash up front to use on transportation or whatever you want. There's also subsidized housing, which you would pay only $250 a month for a fully furnished apartment. This apartment will be just nothing but interns, so you'll have other interns from other walks of life doing other types of internships. There's actually a pool there, so a lot of interns do pool parties there. The 401k, you really won't do the 401k unless you're a full-time employee, and at that case, Micron would actually match that. Micron discounts, so in Boise, we have a lot of discounts through the company. Some places where you go dine, they give you discounts. The local gyms, we get discounts there. We also get discounts to amusement parks, so Disneyland, Disney World, Universal Studios, rental cars, hotel rooms. You can get discounts to all of that. And so the program is a 12-week program. It starts in May 20th, June 3rd, or June 10th for the 3 days that you can start, and it ends in August. But the first week, you really just get acquainted with the company. You get an orientation where you'll learn about the company, you'll meet your supervisor, you'll meet the team. The second week, you get a little bit more orientated into the fab. You'll learn a little bit about the software that we use in the fab. By week 3 through 7, you'll get assigned a couple tasks to do. And so you'll have a mentor that will train you on the job for that. By weeks 8 through 11, you actually start to execute those tasks that you were assigned. And then by weeks 12, you are kind of done. You're ready to go home. You're doing a presentation. You're telling us what you learned. You may give us some areas of improvement for the internship, but really it's just for you to get that exposure. And so at our site, these are all the things that we have. We've got 2 basketball courts there. We've got foosball tables. We've got ping pong tables. We've got cornhole tables, prayer rooms that you can go into, and they're all located all over the site. We've got 2 different gyms there that you can do. You can go do cardio, you can go do weightlifting. There's classes to do bicycling. So there's a lot of things that you can do. There's also 2 cafeterias there where you can get a 40% discount to your meals. So you can load up on, if you find that you like all these different burgers, you can get different burgers for your day. So there's also off on this outside, you'll have a softball field, cricket field, you'll have a frisbee golf course that you can do. We also have something that's called a green belt. It's about a 5-mile long walk or bicycle ride that you can do around the company. You can also use our electric vehicle bikes that we have available, so you can use that and ride on that belt. And so some of the benefits as an actual Micron employee, the first one is called IPP. That is actually our incentive pay program, which you as an employee, every year you'll have a yearly review of your performance, and that is the time of the year that we talk about your performance, what you did, what's coming up next. If you get a raise, RSU stocks, you may get bonuses, anything like that. Then also as a Micron employee, you'll get full relocation, so we'll pay for you to relocate to Boise or to Manassas, whichever you choose. If you have a home or something like that and you need to sell it, we can help cover the cost of selling that home and then help you buy a home over there. I already talked about medical, 401k, so Micron does match 401k, they match up to 5%. So whatever you put in, we put in up to 5% of that. Also, 5.31 hours of time that you can accrue up to 400 hours that can roll over every year. So as long as you use it, they'll start to continue to accrue, but once you hit 400 hours, it stays at 400 until you use it. So very important to use it. I've got about 370 hours, and I'm about to use it all here in the next couple months. 16 hours of paid time off for actually volunteering. So if you want to go volunteer at a homeless shelter or an animal shelter just to go help out, you can do that. My firm will pay you for that time that you go do that. There's also something called paid floating holidays. You can use that paid holiday for your birthday. If you run out of top time, you can use that for that time. Or if it's your parents' birthday, you want to use it for your parents. Education Assistance Program, we do help people, achieve their goals of maybe getting another degree. So once you finish your electrical engineering degree and you want to continue your education and get a BA, we can help with that. We'll help pay up to $10,000 a year for that. Also, once you get your degree, we have something that's called professional development. Say you want to get your license in something, the company will actually pay up to $5,000 on that. We have competitive pay rates, so working as a technician, you do work shift work, so it's a 12-hour shift. So 1 week you'll work four days, and then you have 3 days off, and then you'll work the next week 3 days on, 4 days off the next week. And you can work either on the first half of the week or the second half of the week. And so I'll go a little bit more into the shifts for you. And then the last one is called Bravo Points. That is our rewards program. So if you are on a small project and you're working with your manager or another manager and they feel like you're doing a great job, they could give you a big kudos and they can give you 25 to 50 or 500 points. And what you can do is you can continue to accrue those points and save it for something big, or just get yourself a $50 gift card to Cabela's or to a restaurant of your choosing. The other one is called Spot Bonus. So that's, if you're working on a big project and you've made a huge impact on the company with this project that you did, they could decide to give you a $1,500 bonus or a $2,000 bonus. Yeah. And then the next one is RSU stock. So that's during the same time as the IPP. It's called restricted stock units. So 25% in the first year will vest with you, and then after that, each quarter you'll get 6% until it's fully vested. And so that is usually during your IPP time. They could give you up to $10,000 in stocks. And so that's a really great benefit. And so here's the work schedule that I talked about earlier. So the first part of the week is every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every other Wednesday, and then you get the rest of that week off. Or if you worked the other shift, it would be every other Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so those are the two different shifts. A shift is this first half, C shift is the second half. And then we operate 24/7, so 365 days out of the year, there's no time off. If a holiday lands on your day of work, say Christmas, you're working that day unless you try to take it off. And during that time, we do give free lunches, so you get probably prime rib on that day. If you did work that shift, we know that you'll probably work only 9 months out of the year. 3 months of it, you're actually off. And that's not including the top time that you accrue. So that's pretty nice. so the opportunities that I just talked about, so the internship starts in summer of 2024. The 3 days that you would start would be May 20th, June 3rd, or June 10th, and then it would end in August. Some things that you would have to do to qualify for the internship: you do have to be 18 years old, and then you should be at least in your first year of your community college, and you can't graduate no earlier than December of 2024. If you are somebody that's graduating earlier and you're graduating, say, May of 2024, we do have full-time positions available. You can go to jobs.micron.com and apply to any of those jobs. The internship is only in Boise, Idaho, and in Manassas, Virginia. Once we have play up in the future internships, then we'll start doing it there. Go ahead. And so just to give you a little bit more information, go ahead on the next one. I want to share a little bit on what technicians do, what type of technicians we have. So we have 2 different technicians. The first one's a process technician. And so the process technician is somebody that actually takes the wafers and they monitor those wafers that run through our tools. And so in the fab, we have 10 different processes that we do with the wafers. We have something where it's called, the area is called photo. It shoots a design onto the wafer, which then puts a resist on it, where then it goes into other areas called like diffusion or CMP, CVD, dry etch, wet etch. They all kind of do certain things for the wafers, but these wafers will run through these steps 14 to 1700 times. And this can take 4 to 6 months to do before it becomes memory. And so with that, process technicians will make sure they monitor the tools to check for efficiencies. If there is any issues with this, they need to page out, and that's where the equipment technicians come in, who then go to the tool and make sure that the tool's running correctly, or they'll check for trends on that tool. And if that tool has an issue, they will be the ones to repair it. They'll actually be also the ones to do the preventive maintenance on it. And so these are some of the tools that we use as a process technician. The first one is called space charts. And so this is actually the results of what the wafers have run through that tool. We've taken measurements off the wafer to tell us what the tool is doing. And so it's giving us trends on the tool, and you need to understand the tolerance levels and what the tool is actually doing. The next one is in software that you would be trained on. It's called Tool View. The first part of this is showing you the name of the tools, and then this half is right here is telling you the different chambers on the tools, and then over here is telling you what lots are doing on this tool. These right here kind of tell you what stage they're in. So red means it's in repair, blue means it's in idle, green means it's running, and then pink means it's in preventive maintenance. And then the next one is a robot, and that is an AMHS tool, which is the automated material handling system, which takes all of our wafers and runs it into all the tools. So a process technician no longer has to carry the food and put it in the actual tool itself. And so process technicians no longer work in the fab. They actually work in an area called the Remote Operations Center. So it looks like a classroom like this, but it has computers. You have different sections where you have technicians and engineers with your area. It makes it easier for us to collaborate with each other because we don't have to run around the fab to try to find each other anymore. This bottom part right here is our rendition of what our fab is going to look like in Boise. We have Building 51, which is our R&D site, and then we have a probing area, and then the new rock. Since the current rock here has no windows, it has nothing but walls, it looks like prison, they wanted something with glass, so we're getting light, natural light in here. And then this is where this 600,000 square foot fab will be. And so what skills do we need for a process technician? The process technician needs to have skill sets where they have PC skills. They need to be able to understand how to use Microsoft Office 365. They need to know how to do PowerPoints, Excel spreadsheets. They need to know how to use Teams, Zoom. They need to be able to do data analytics, so they'll need to be able to read the SVC charts. They also need to be able to problem solve. They need to be able to figure out and find the root cause of the problem. They need to be able to provide a solution and then help provide that result. And be able to communicate that out to the other areas. Okay. And so, next one. And so what does an equipment technician do? So the equipment technicians are the ones that work actually on our tools. And so as you can see, this one right here in the center is actually a wet process tool. It's about the size of this ball. It could cost anywhere up to $200 million for these tools. And so there's nowhere in the world where you're going to work on something this high tech. You also have the sorters, and then you have the AMHS tools that you would be working on. Go ahead. And so the fab is about 100 times cleaner than your operating room in a hospital. It's temperature controlled, humidity controlled. You wear a bunny suit in there. That bunny suit isn't to protect you from anything. It's to protect the product from you, because you can carry particles into the fab. And so we're trying to minimize that, because what we want to do is keep it less than 5.5 microns, which is 10 times smaller than the human hair. Go ahead. And so what does an equipment technician need for skills? They need everything that a process technician has, but they need to add the mechanical and the electrical aptitude. So we need you to make sure that you understand AC/DC, also understanding how to use power tools or any of the bigger tools, being able to take things apart and put things back together. Okay. And then this part right here, this talks about what happens, once I become a technician, what can I do? Can I career path somewhere else? Where can I go? And so with this, you start out as a T1, T2. You could career path all the way up to T4. The different positions these tiers could have could be in any of these areas right here for these job roles that you see up here for equipment and for the process side. And once you reach T4, you can continue to go to college and get your education while we pay for it. Once you have your degree, you can move up into the engineering role and then work your way up into the engineering role. And so with that, I could talk a little bit about pay. So pay right here for T1, T2, you're in the mid-20s, while T3, T4, you're up in the higher $40 area. And then when you're in the E1, E2 range, you're in the mid-70s, and then E3, E4, you're up into about $150,000 a year. And that is all I have, I believe. And so I have some flyers back there on the side, or on the other side here. There is a QR code for the process technician and the equipment technician. There's also flyers on the technician roles, and then also for you to career path into the engineering role. What else can I talk about? I think that's all I have. Thank you for having me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Is this a pilot program or is it an ongoing
It's
interest?
going to be an ongoing. So this is the first time we've ever done it
So it is pilot this year?
this year, but next year we will be back.
Okay.
Yeah, so we know that, this is the first try and it's only going to get bigger.
And everything that's being done is to develop a pipeline of technicians specifically to support, eventually to support the Clay, New York site.
Yeah, so once we have Clay up, we'll probably do a lot more internships. You'll probably see apprenticeships going on with Onondaga Community College also, so they've got a clean room that they're making right now for us so that we can train students there.
What's the community college in place that you work with?
CWI. So we have an apprenticeship program right now, so we just hired the next 14 students to do the apprenticeship. So they actually get their education paid for while they go to work and go to school. Any other questions? Is everybody in here in their first year of school? Yeah. So if you are, you've got a really great opportunity to do this. This is probably the best time to do it, is to apply now, because you'd be the first ones to do it, and I think next year when we come back, it'll be a lot harder to get into.
A lot more
because you'll have
competitive.
interest.
So I'll just emphasize, so I obviously work with a lot of industry partners. I can tell you the opportunity, this type of opportunity doesn't come along that often. If you are eligible, I'd encourage you to apply. There's a chance that